It's really funny because you know all those people that come like throwing questions at like for these questions that are like, I mean,
You watch a football game and then
you got it.
I know.
I get it, but it's like, wow.
I can't stand watching talk shows and sports. Like they have so many on ESPN. And the one guy's always yelling at each other. These guys are his first take. That's funny. It's funny, but they're just a little too
Too much. It's like, okay, you really gonna find out what the Bulls found is possible numbers for 2 seasons.
I just want one of the Kings reporters, or one of the LA Times reporters, so that's really the news outlet that covers him. You have a guy in your first line who, when he's playing with your star player averages 30 points a season or less. Why is he still playing? We're gonna moneyball this.
Yeah.
Like,
That's something a fan. Like, it would be better to have fans coming out playing.
to a point, because then you'll get some ridiculous.
Like, it'd be like, you suck. You lose every week. Why don't you quit, please? Please go away and play for the Buccaneers.
It makes me so upset. It's just like, there's a team everyone told me this proves it.
It was the spirit of Brady.
So if Brady wins, then Belichick is no longer the best coach ever.
Oh, it's like, Chicago Bulls coach in the 80s, Bill Jordan.
Bill Jackson?
Bill Jackson.
Or, Riley?
I'm talking about Jackson. He's won the most with him. Yeah, I mean, Jackson went to the Lakers and did it again with Kobe and Shaq, so that one's debatable.
I was very much on Team Shaq. The more you gave the ball to Shaq, the more Shaq had the ball, the better the team did in the long run.
That's how it was with Magic and Kareem, and that's why Kareem is the leader of points.
You mean more Kareem had the ball? This is
Well, Magic had like the most assists ever.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here this afternoon. We are here today to announce a major development in the double murder that was committed on Burris Street on January the 7th of 2020. The arrest of 2 suspects we suspect to be directly involved in the murders, along with 2 additional arrests that were made as a result of service of search warrants. On January the 7th, 2021, at around 12:30 p.m., passerbys in the area of the 600 block of Burris Street that is located in the unincorporated area of Santa Barbara County heard gunshots and then observed a suspect flee from the area on foot. Responding deputies discovered 2 male victims seated in the front seat of a parked vehicle. 19-year-old Enzo Marino Rastelli suffered a fatal gunshot wound to the head, and 19-year-old Jasper Peter, P-I-E-T-E-R, Vander Meulen, M-E-U-L-E-N, suffered a gunshot wound to the head also. He was still alive and was transported by paramedics to the hospital. He fought for his life for a number of days until he succumbed as a result of this gunshot wound and died on January the 28th of 2021. Patrol deputies secured the scene and detectives immediately began to work on this case. They have logged over 2,000 hours of investigative time since the beginning of their investigation and at the time of the crime. As a result of their investigation, Santa Barbara Sheriff's detectives have developed information about the identity of suspects in this case who are members of a criminal street gang. Detectives authored warrants for the involved parties that were served today at 4 residences, all within the city of Santa Barbara. They were the 1900 block of Robbins Street, the 600 block of West Coda, the 600 block of North Voluntario, and the 800 block of San Pascual. The service of these warrants resulted in 4 arrests, including 3 adult males and 1 juvenile male. The first arrest was 21-year-old Brian Munoz of Santa Barbara. Brian Munoz was arrested for 2 counts of Penal Code 187, murder. Penal Code Section 190.2, subsections A, subsection 3, special circumstances involving more than one offense of murder. Penal Code Section 190.2A, 17A, special circumstances, murder committed during the commission of a robbery. Penal Code Section 211, robbery. Penal Code Section 182A1, criminal conspiracy. Penal Code Section 186.22B1, a felony committed for the benefit of a criminal street gang. Second arrest was for 24-year-old Joshua Isaac Vega. Joshua Isaac Vega was arrested for Penal Code Section 211, robbery. Penal Code Section 182A1, criminal conspiracy. Third arrest was 32-year-old Jorge Luis Silva Guevara of Santa Barbara. He was arrested for possession of narcotics for sales unrelated to the murder. When he was contacted inside a residence, he refused to comply with orders. He resisted arrest, and he was subsequently tased. He was taken into custody and treated by medical staff on scene prior to being booked into the main jail. And the fourth and final arrest from today was a juvenile suspect taken into custody on an outstanding no bail warrant for a violation of probation. In the service of these warrants today, we were assisted by several allied agencies, and I would like to thank them for doing that. The first is the Santa Barbara Police Department and their SWAT team. We also received assistance from the Santa Barbara City Fire Department and from the Santa Barbara City Animal Control Office, who helped secure a potentially dangerous dog at one of the locations. From the Sheriff's Office, we had a variety of our resources that were involved in these operations today. First and foremost, members of the Criminal Investigations Bureau, our detectives who are working so diligently on this case, our Special Investigations Bureau, our Special Enforcement Team, our SWAT team, our K-9 units, and our County Sheriff Fire Air Support Unit. And I want to just say thank you and commend all of them for some great police work that was done at the scene and some superb detective work that has been done subsequent to the actual murder. The victims of this terrible crime, 19-year-old Enzo Marino Rastelli and 19-year-old Jasper Peter Vandermeulen, and we have some representatives from their families and friends with us today, were two college students who made some bad choices and fell victim to what is often thought to be a victimless crime, the illicit sale of drugs, in this case marijuana. And I think this case underscores how much of a misnomer that is to think that illicit drugs, including marijuana, which is legal in certain circumstances, but if it's purchased, if it's sold, if it's grown, if it's distributed illegally, it obviously has connections to some very sinister and some very dangerous ramifications, potential ramifications, and that's what happened in this case. And our sympathies go out to the Rastelli and the Vandermeulen families and the friends of these two young men who were taken in the early stages of their adult life. It appears as though these murders were the result of a drug deal that went bad, and that the suspects committed a robbery ripoff. And we would like to know from the public if there have been other instances of this type of robbery ripoff. Obviously, people who get robbed in the commission of a drug sale, even if it's marijuana, are going to be reluctant to come forward because of that. And I would just like to say to anyone out there that was a victim of these criminals, please contact us. We're not interested in the drug dealing in this case. We're interested in the violent robbery and the potential impact to a group of people that may have committed a series of these types of crimes. We'd like to know if this is indeed one of other robberies that may have been committed by these suspects, and we ask for you to contact us. Anyone who's been similarly robbed by these suspects can come forward and leave an anonymous tip by calling 805-681-4171, or you can go online and send information to us at SB Sheriff, that's SBSHERIFF.org. And again, I assure you, we're not interested in the drug dealing aspects. If a crime like this occurred previously, we want to know about the robbery part of it. The arrests made today send a clear message to members of criminal street gangs, and indeed any other criminal that would come into Santa Barbara County and commit these types of heinous and evil crimes. And I can assure you that if you do commit crimes like this in our county, we will hunt you down after you've been identified. We will arrest you. We will put you in jail, and we will bring you to justice. And with that, I am happy to take any questions that you might have.
the age of the juvenile who was arrested? Do you know?
15 years old. Again, we're not can't release his photograph or his name to you.
So of the 4 arrests, 3 are directly, you have them directly at the scene of the shooting, and then 1 was arrested during the today because of the warrants and not cooperating.
We have, well, yeah, I want to just say that we arrested 4 people. 2 of them we believe are directly connected with the crime that occurred on Burris Street. The other 2 were arrested subsequent to the warrants that were served today. The investigation obviously is continuing to see if there's a connection with them or with anyone else in this crime, and as a result of what's happened today with the search warrant and evidence that we've obtained and we'll analyze and we'll sift through, there may be more charges that come.
Just to clarify, the people buying the marijuana were the victims?
No, the people that were shot and killed were the people selling the marijuana.
Do you have an idea how much or the quantity of marijuana is involved in this?
We recovered about a half a pound of marijuana at the scene, and so it's a quantity of at least that much.
Is it suspected that the victims were growing this?
Say that again?
Did the victims grow the marijuana in question?
I don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was obvious that they were involved in the sale, but it was, as I say, it was believed that, you know, from their perspective, they were selling a bag of dope. From the perspective of the suspects in this case, obviously they were there to rip them off and to rob them, and ultimately they killed them.
Sheriff, can you say if their intent all along was to kill them?
I can't tell you that, Tyler. I don't know, what their intent was at this point, but obviously it was a crime that did occur within a robbery.
And can you say if there's any connection at all to the cannabis industries here, whether medicinal or retail?
I have no information that would connect this to any legitimate cannabis operation at all.
Okay.
Have there been issues where you've seen big arrests or seen people buying legal cannabis and going out and selling it?
I'm sure that happens, but that's not something that we suspect happened in this case, and it's not something that I suspect is any widespread. Typically legal marijuana is more expensive than illicit marijuana, and so it's unlikely that anybody would buy it on a routine basis and sell it that way. So it's unlikely that would be the case.
Of the 2 suspects that were there, do you know who pulled the trigger? Did both of them?
Yeah, we're not releasing any of the information in terms of who did exactly what in this case. So we're still investigating the case, and as I said, it's obvious that there was more than one person involved in the case.
Do you have more suspects that's still out at large?
We are still investigating the case, and we don't have any named suspects that we're after at this moment, but we are continuing to investigate the case, and based on what we have gathered as a result of the search warrants, we hope that we'll have some more leads to follow, and it could result in additional arrests.
And then you said
or charges.
Then you said this was gang related, right? And
The two adult male suspects in this case are members, we believe, are members of a criminal street gang here in Santa Barbara County.
Can we say which one?
I could say, but I'm not going to. We have a policy of not saying the names, and just out of deference to the victims and to not give any kind of credibility to these gangs, we don't give that information out in a press conference.
2 questions. Are you guys aware of what type of firearm was used in this? And then can you provide some details of like when this morning these warrants were served? Or around like what time?
We do know what type of firearm was involved, but we're not releasing that information at this time. And as far as the time, it was I believe the initial arrest basically occurred between 9 and 10 o'clock, or initiated between 9 and 10 o'clock. And then the other ones were A couple of them were simultaneous, and a couple of them were subsequent to that.
Sheriff, is there any suspected connection to the double homicide in the city of Santa Barbara recently?
We don't have any information to disclose at this point about that. Obviously, that is something that we in the Santa Barbara Police Department will want to take a look at.
And one more quick question. Were the victims armed with a firearm?
We have no indication at this time that the victims were armed. All right?
College students locally or?
Yes. Mr. Vandermeulen was a UCSB student. He had grown up at an earlier age and had gone to a local high school, left the area and then came back. And then Mr. Rastelli was a Santa Barbara City College student. All right.
Any information releasing to the media that could jeopardize the case and your investigation?
Well, anything beyond what I just said would be something we would not want anyone to release at this point. Obviously, there will be more developments. We believe there will be more developments in this case, and it's likely that there will be some more information released at a later date. But that's about all we can give you right now. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and we're sorry about the delay.
Is there a bail? No bail?
No bail on the one, and do not bail on. Yeah, be no bail on the one suspect, the first one, and $60,000 on the second adult male. And I don't know what the third one is. I don't know if you know that. Drug deal. Yeah, I don't know on that one. So
Okay.
we can get that to you if you want.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You said you'll send out.